17 News.
People still out of work due to the pandemic say they were surprised to find out their unemployment benefits are being cut.
Hello, everyone. I'm Russ Bowen. A viewer contacted us after the state notified her that her weekly checks are being cut in half, and she's not alone. Our Capitol reporter, Michael Hyland, has been looking into this. And Michael, what have you found out?
Yeah, I've been reaching out to the Division of Employment Security about this for the last 2 days. You can see here that some people are having to reapply for their benefits because in their cases, it's been a year since they first qualified, and now they're surprised by what the state is telling them.
It all came crashing down, and it was even worse.
It's been a year since Jenny Probst had her last job working backstage at live events. She's gotten by on unemployment and the occasional temporary job. So she was relieved last week when the stimulus bill passed, including an extension of federal unemployment benefits.
Last week was the first time in almost a year that I felt okay.
But soon after, she got a notification from the State Division of Employment Security that she would have to reapply. That's because it's been 52 weeks since she first qualified. What happened next shocked her. She found out her weekly payments from the state will drop from the max of $350 to $192. Under state law, it's based on income, which she didn't have much of last year.
How could this be? I mean, how could the state of North Carolina be treating their citizens the way that they are right now?
Some of her colleagues are seeing even steeper cuts.
I have friends in my industry that are now getting $22 a week. My best friend is getting $33 a week.
When I contacted the Division of Employment Security, they said they wanted to reach out to Jenny, but did not respond to questions about how widespread these cuts are and whether there's anything people can do about them. Jenny is trying to get back to work, but not having much luck.
I haven't seen a single job in my field in my state in the past year.
I also reached out to all of the members of the General Assembly who oversee the state's unemployment system. A spokesperson for Republican Senate Leader Phil Berger said that they expect the economy to continue improving as vaccinations roll out, and they're more so focused on trying to connect people who are out of work with potential jobs. Live in Raleigh, Michael Hyland, CBS 17 News.
Michael, thank you. Now, some counties have already started vaccinating people in Group 4, but the big push starts tomorrow. This includes more than 4 million people and is the largest group to be eligible. The first part of Group 4 includes those with high-risk medical conditions, the homeless, and incarcerated. The rest of Group 4 is other essential workers and people in close group living settings. They can start getting vaccinated April 7th, and Group 5 includes everyone else. And so far, more than 3.4 million doses have been given out. More than 1.2 million are second doses, and more than 2 million are first doses. And more than 68,000 single-shot Johnson & Johnson vaccines have been administered. So far, more than 25% of adults have been partially vaccinated, 16% fully vaccinated.
And the number of people in the hospital with COVID-19 is up for the first time in a week. Right now, there are more than 1,000 patients seeking treatment. That's up 45 from yesterday. The percent positive also up. It's at 6.7%, the highest it's been in nearly a month. There were more than 1,000 new cases, 13 more deaths also reported today.
2 Durham students tested positive for COVID-19 one day after the school district returned to in-person learning. 3 classrooms were closed at Southwest Elementary. Students and staff who also rode school bus 185 Monday afternoon were told to stay home for remote learning for 10 days. Durham Public Schools is working with the county health department to find out who else might have been in contact with those 2 students. Students are